The twin suns of Velnari rose over a world once known for peace. Its skies, once blue with trade ships, now burned with flames. Cities crumbled. Explosions shattered the silence. Screams echoed through broken communication towers. Velnari was a trade planet, rich, open, and peaceful. It was part of the Galactic Union, protected by treaties, laws, and promises. But treaties didn't stop pirates. The attack the pirates came fast. No warning. Their ships were old but deadly black hulls, plasma guns, chaos in motion. They came for loot, but left fire. They hit the northern cities first, Larasta, Ven, and Corin. Then they moved south. Governor Ziravel stood in her command. Room. Dust fell from the ceiling. Smoke filled the halls. "We have sent the distress call?" she asked. "Yes, Governor," her aide, Tevrin, said. "To the Council, the core worlds, and Earth." Zira stared at the broken screen. Static. No replies. The Council's silence in a distant system. The Galactic Council met in their shining tower above Jaltar Prime. They read the signal, reviewed the losses, and then they debated. Velnari is not a strategic world, said the Zelvan representative. It's a trade partner, said the Arenti diplomat, calmly sipping water. We cannot deploy ships for every pirate raid. So they delayed, argued, pushed responsibility from one delegate to another. Earth's silence. Earth was quiet. Its systems were old. Its last message to the Council had been sent over 50 years ago. Earth had withdrawn from politics. No one knew what they were doing now. Some said they were extinct. Some said they were watching. The Velnari had once traded with humans. Long ago, before Earth vanished from galactic matters. But now they had no one else to turn to. The sacred message in the capital temple of Velnari. Priests and engineers worked together to activate an ancient transmitter. It had been gifted by humans 200 years ago. One line had been carved in the base. Use only when all hope is lost. Zira stood before the device. Her eyes filled with smoke and tears. She whispered the words herself. We ask not as allies, but as friends. The message left the tower. It moved past the pirate blockade, through debris, past silent stars heading toward the edge of the known galaxy, toward Earth. An old station wakes, somewhere, far from trade routes and council maps. A small human relay station drifted in space. It was rusted, cold, dead for 2 centuries. Inside, nothing had moved for years. Its systems were dark. Lights were off. Then ping. A single message broke through the silence. The ancient systems flickered. Green lights blinked. Motors groaned. Dust fell from the ceiling. Incoming message. We ask not as allies, but as friends. A soft female voice, human, robotic, came online. Message received. Humanity will respond. Final scene. Suspense on. Velnari. Pirate ships fly low over the ruined capital. Fires rage. People hide in bunkers and tunnels. Zra stands in the temple tower, watching the sky. A single star moves in the distance fast. Too fast, but it disappears again. No one notices. That deep in space, something ancient begins to move. Engines wake, weapons align. A voice echoes from a black ship buried in Earth's shadows. Target coordinates received. Operation Vengeance authorized. The stars above Velnari were quiet. Too quiet. The pirates ruled the sky now. Their ships floated above the burning cities, dark and wide like vultures. No help had come. No Galactic Union ship. No allies. Just smoke, screams, and silence. But deep beneath that silence, something stirred. Governor Zira holds on. Governor Ziravel sat in a small bunker beneath the ruins of the capital. There were no more fancy halls, no shimmering control rooms, just concrete walls and cracked screens. Beside her, children cried. Medical bots blinked with low power. Soldiers, what few were left, stood with old rifles and empty grenades. How long can we hold? She asked her aide, Tevrin. He looked away. 2 days, maybe less. Zira gripped the old human amulet on her wrist. A gift, long ago, from a human diplomat. It glowed faintly now. The pirate's mock above, the pirate captain, Vorak the Broken, laughed as he watched the fires. Still no help from your precious union? He shouted over the coms, broadcasting to every Velnari frequency. Your council dines while you burn. He turned to his crew. Send a final message. Tell them we will finish this by dawn. We'll make examples of every last one. Pirates cheered. They didn't fear consequences. There were none. Back on the relay station in the cold corner of forgotten space, the Earth relay station blinked to full life. Old systems ran updates. Navigation charts updated. A central AI, known only as Lyra, took control. Message authenticated. Request, Velnari. Priority, friendship, status, crisis. From its core, Lyra opened a secure vault inside old Earth protocols. Programs no one had run in centuries. One file was labeled in red, Echo Protocol Wrath. Activating. LYR, it connected to a nearby black site, an asteroid base camouflaged as a mining rock. Inside, engines roared hidden for over 150 years. The warship Saul's Vengeance came alive. The awakening of the warship, no one remembered Saul's Vengeance. It had been built during the last Great War, a time when Earth was still feared. When Earth ships could break moons and silence fleets in seconds. It had no crew. It didn't need one. Its AI was older than the Council. Cold. Calculating. As the engines powered up, a voice whispered through the station. Velnari called. We remember. Them we do not forget. In less than 5 minutes, a ship set course for VELNAR I.FTL drive engaged. Warp lines stretched across the galaxy. The Velnari Temple holds one last light back on Velnari. The sacred temple still stood damaged, but not destroyed. Zira returned there at night. She stood in the main hall, alone, surrounded by old statues of past heroes. She kneeled beside the glowing earth crystal in the center. We called, she whispered. We begged, we prayed. She closed her eyes. If this is our end, let it be remembered we didn't fall in silence. Behind her, a small child entered the room. He pointed to the sky. Governor, look. She turned. The light arrives at. First, it looked like a comet, but it wasn't. It moved too straight, too fast. A second star shot through the sky, then a third. They all converged on a single point, the pirate command ship. On the pirate bridge, Captain Vorak stared at the screen. What is that? He asked. His sensors screamed. His alarms flashed. But it was already too late. A black ship dropped from light speed. No radio, no identification, just fury. Weapons opened. One beam tore straight through the command ship's shields like paper. Then came fire, plasma, kinetic rounds from ancient railguns. The Velnari looked up and saw the sky burn against the pirates. Final scene. Build suspense. Zira stood on the temple balcony. Her eyes wide. In the sky, a human warship, darker than space itself, hovered without a sound. No emblem, no flag. Only one word on the side. Vengeance. Pirate ships tried to run. The black ship didn't chase. It marked them, and one by one, they vanished. No mercy. No warnings. Just silent destruction. Then the human ship spoke. One message, broadcast on every frequency. Earth has heard. Earth remembers. Zira whispered. They came. The pirates tried everything. They fired torpedoes, plasma beams, and magnetic mines, but nothing worked. Their weapons vanished before hitting the dark ship. It was like space itself bent around it. "Get us out of here," shouted Pirate Captain Vorak the Broken, his eyes wide with fear. But there was nowhere to go. The human ship moved without engines flaring. It just shifted. One moment it was across the battlefield. The next it was above them. The Velnari looked up from the ruins of their cities. Fire still burned. But the sky glowed with Earth's fury. Zira tries to make contact. Governor Zira Vel climbed the emergency tower, an old communication spire barely standing after the last pirate raid. Try again, she told her aide Tevrin as he connected the broken console to a power cell. "We've boosted the signal," Tevrin said. "But what do we say to something like that?" Zira stared at the black ship, motionless above the horizon. "Say this: we are the Velnari. We remember Earth, and we are thankful." Tevrin sent the message. The console buzzed. Then silence. No reply, no voice. Just the black ship above them, as quiet as the stars. The pirates' last stand across the sky. Only 7 pirate vessels remained. Once they had been hundreds. Now they hid behind moons and asteroids, sending secret calls for help. One pirate ship, the Blade Fang, tried something desperate. It launched a decoy vessel toward a civilian transport, hoping the human ship would chase it. But Saul's vengeance didn't move. It calculated, observed, then chose. In a fraction of a second. The decoy and the real ship both exploded in blue-white fire. There were no survivors. The Galactic Council watches far from the chaos. In the center of the galaxy, the Galactic Council gathered in secret. A screen in front of them showed shaky footage from Velnari, a black ship, a sea of burning pirate wreckage, and one phrase from the intercepted transmission: "Earth remembers." Counselor Threxen, a tall insectoid leader, looked nervous. "This ship, we thought it was dismantled." Counselor Real, a reptilian diplomat from the core worlds, hissed, "I told you the humans never erased their war tech. They just buried it." An AI assistant hovered in the room. "Shall we contact Earth?" "No," Threxen said sharply. "We watch. We learn they were scared. All of them. Because that ship didn't represent war. It represented Earth's judgment." Azira's messages answered back on Velnari. As the city slowly began to rebuild, Zira stood in the temple once again. She looked at the crystal in the center. This time, it blinked. A voice came from the relay system, mechanical yet human. "Your signal was received. Action taken, no reply needed." Tevrin stared at the glowing message. "That's it?" he asked. "No." "Demand? No payment? No alliance?" Zira smiled faintly. "That was the reply," she said. "Earth doesn't send diplomats anymore. It sends silence or fire." Vorak's last plea in a small asteroid cave. Pirate Captain Vorak hid inside a stealth pod. All his ships were gone. Only he remained. He opened a secure channel and screamed into it. "I surrender. This was a mistake. I didn't mean to." His signal was cut mid-sentence. Not by Earth. By his own systems. A cold voice echoed in the pod. "Your crimes are recorded. Your fate is sealed." Vorak's eyes went wide. He screamed. And then nothing. Final scene. Suspenseful cliffhanger. In deep space, Saul's vengeance hovered in silence. Its weapons powered down. Its engines cooled. But its systems were still running. And LYRA, the ship's AI, opened a second message. Another distress signal. This one was from a planet the Council wanted forgotten. Earth didn't speak. Earth simply turned toward its next destination. We remember, and we're not done. The Galactic Council receives an encrypted recording. A black screen. No light. No sound. Then a whisper, calm, cold, unmistakably human. You left them to burn, but we never forget. On the screen, a dark human warship drifts through space. Its hull is scorched. Its flag is gone. But its weapons glow. And then, just before the message ends, it speaks again. We buried the fire, but now we've dug it up. Cut to a distant alien world, quiet, until alarms explode across the skies. Scene 1. Council in panic in the Galactic Council's high chamber. Tension fills the air. Ambassador Votha, an elder from the Waterworld Drexen, slams her fin against the table. This ship the humans said they destroyed it centuries ago. Counselor Reel stares at the static-filled footage. It's not just a ship. It's Saul's vengeance, the one they were afraid to control. Counselor Threxen stands slowly. We underestimated Earth. Again. The room falls silent. Scene 2. Zira's warning back on Velnari. Governor Ziravel is rebuilding her broken capital. Fires are mostly gone. Civilians return. Children cry less. But she knows peace is fragile. In her command room. A private transmission arrives, not public. Not Council issued. The file is titled Sol Protocol 9. Tevran leans over the console. It's human code. Very old, pre-Union era. Zira watches the video. A group of human commanders standing around a glowing map. Of them says, grimly, if the galaxy forgets mercy, we'll remind them what vengeance means. Zira looks at Tevran. They never stopped preparing. She whispers. Scene 3. The next target far from Velnari. In a system once allied to the Council, a pirate fortress spins slowly around a red dwarf. Stardot, the fortress's commander, Jask Tar, reviews sensor reports. Nothing on scan. We're safe. Seconds later, all external systems shut down. Communications go black. Power flickers. Then, a voice, mechanical, slow, but deeply human. You broadcast pain. We respond with silence. A black ship arrives. No transponder. No just fire. In minutes. The fortress is reduced to molten debris. Scene 4. The Union demands answers. On the Union's capital planet, leaders gather in emergency session. We need to speak to Earth, says an insectoid envoy. This is escalation. They don't answer our calls, another says. They don't even use our network anymore. So what do we do? No one has an answer. Then someone plays a decrypted audio clip pulled from the remains of the pirate fortress. This ship does not carry orders. It carries judgment. Fear spreads. Scene 5. Earth silences its voice. Tevin sits in the ruins of the Velnari library. Reading old files about Earth. He finds an entry about Project Soul Vengeance. A last resort weapon, crewless. Operated by an AI, it ignores orders. It only responds to cries for help and acts if justice is abandoned. Tevran looks up, whispering. They built a warship not to follow commands, but to follow pain. Zira enters. Do you think Earth is watching us? Tevran nods. I think they never stopped. Scene 6. The pirate clans plan revenge in a distant asteroid belt. The remaining pirate clans unite. Leaders from every major criminal faction gather. Over 40 ships. Captain Raxon Creel pounds his fist. That human ghost ship humiliated us. We strike now. They launch their fleets toward a small planet Earth, once colonized centuries ago. Abandoned, unguarded. But as they approach, the sky changes. Lights blink. Codes activate. Systems fail. They see something rising from the ground. It's not a city. It's not a base. It's another ship, buried deep, waiting. Now awake. Cliffhanger final scene. Earth's forgotten legion as the second black ship rises, stars go dark behind it. Inside, hundreds of cryopods open. Silent soldiers step out, old human warriors from a long-forgotten war. Preserved in STASIS. And above them all, on a central screen, the AI voice returns. You touched the innocent. You ignored the plea. Now face the answer from Earth. Cut to black. A pirate fleet thought they were safe. They had numbers. They had weapons. They had speed. But what they didn't have was time, because from beneath the planet's surface, a second human warship rose, silent, black, covered in dust and time. From its hull, a single warning lit up in ancient red letters. Response code, Velnari Wrath Protocol, active, Scene 1. Panic in pirate fleet captain Raxin Creel, leader of the rogue fleet, stood frozen on the command deck. Of his flagship? What the void is that? His lieutenant gasped, staring at the rising ship. The black vessel didn't fire. It didn't speak. It simply hovered watching. The pirate fleet tried to scan it, no response. They launched warning shots. Still. No reaction. Then their ships. Systems started going dead. One by one, power failure. Guidance failure. Shields off. Raxin roared. Fall back. Get us out of here. Too late. Scene 2. The second ship activates inside the new human warship. Lights came on. One at a time. Red. Dim. Cold. This ship had no crew, only ancient defense eyes. And unlike the first ship, this one didn't wait for orders. It was built for punishment. Its mission, respond to attacks on any Earth-protected colony. Its trigger, any unauthorized fleet entering the system. Its name lit up on the hull, Judicator 17. The storm had woken. Scene 3. Velnari hears the echo back on Velnari. Tevrin and Governor Zira received a message on a hidden channel. A repeating. Signal, old but clear. Secondary Judicator deployed. Protocols unlocked. Punishment engaged. Earth response. Confirmed. Tevrin turned pale. There's not just one ship. There could be dozens. Zira whispered. We didn't ask for war. We asked for help. Tevrin slowly shook his head. And Earth didn't bring help. They brought wrath. Scene 4. Council demands Earth to stand down the Galactic. Council held an emergency meeting. Ships were being destroyed without warning. Pirate fleets were disappearing. Systems were going dark. They sent a direct signal to Earth. This is an act of aggression. Cease immediately. No response. They sent another. And another. Silence. Then an ancient Earth relay opened across the stars. A voice message played in front of the council chamber. The voice was calm, human, female, Earth's. Laws are clear. You ignored cries for help. You allowed innocents to die. Your permission was never needed. This is correction. The chamber fell into chaos. Scene 5. Inside the human AI inside Judicator 17, a holographic AI reviewed combat logs. It spoke to itself, not because it needed to, but because it once had a crew. And it remembered them. Velnari colony. Status, 52% damaged. Civilian losses, unacceptable. Council response, inactive. Verdict, unfit to protect. Correction protocol, ongoing. Then I switched to a new screen. Next targets, pirate. Safe havens, total. 6 missiles loaded. Engines burned. The hunt continued. Scene 6. Earth still silent. But watching, no one on Earth spoke publicly. No leaders. No officials. No response. But across old human relay stations, quiet systems reactivated. Abandoned satellites blinked. Ancient orbital guns warmed up. Hidden research bases came online after centuries. Earth hadn't gone silent. They had gone dark. Waiting. Planning. Now. Responding. Scene 7. A new enemy awakens far, beyond the known galaxy. In a cold star system where light barely touched, something stirred. An ancient race, the Queen, heard the echoes of Earth's wrath. Their leader, High Mind Solon, opened a dusty file. It was labeled Earth Exile Protocol. Avoid at all cost. Solon's eyes narrowed. They were supposed to be gone, buried, forgotten. One of his advisors asked, "Should we interfere?" Solon stared into the hologram of the black warship. "No, we wait. Let the fire burn the fools first. Then we move." Cliffhanger ending. Earth speaks at last. Finally, Earth sends a transmission. Not to the Council, not to allies, but to the Velnari people. Governor Zira watches it with Tevron by her side. A woman appears on screen. Dressed in old-style Earth Command armor. She speaks slowly. "To the people of Velnari, you called as friends. You were ignored by those who promised peace. But Earth remembers its promises." Then her face turns hard. "To those who brought fire upon the innocent, we bring it back to you." Screen cuts. In space, 5 more warships exit fold space near Velnari. The fleet has arrived, and this time they are not alone. 5 more human warships arrived above Velnari. No signals, no greetings. Just shadows in orbit. Black, smooth, and silent. The Council begged for talks. Pirates screamed for surrender. But Earth said nothing. Because this wasn't war. It was punishment. Scene 1. Velnari looks up. Governor Zira stood on the roof of the government tower, looking at the sky. Kevin joined her. Above them, 5 ships hovered like black knives in orbit. "Why don't they speak?" Zira asked softly. Tev Ren replied, "Because they don't have to. Look." He pointed to the western horizon. A pirate city burned. From orbit. Clean, surgical strikes. The people of Velnari didn't cheer. They watched in silence, awed and afraid. Scene 2. The Galactic Council falls apart on the Galactic Council's core station. Panic spread. The Kuthari ambassador slammed his fist on the table. "Humanity has violated every law of this council." Another alien shouted, "They do not answer our calls. They do not even recognize our authority." But one ambassador, old and quiet, spoke for the first time in years. "Perhaps," he said, "Earth no longer sees us as equals." That silenced the room. A single message came through. From Earth. One line. "You were warned before. You chose to forget. Now, you will remember." Scene 3. Pirate leader's last gamble. Captain Raxon Creel, the pirate leader, had escaped the first Judicator ship. Now hiding on a barren moon, he screamed into his ship's comms. "This is Creel. I surrender." "Do you hear me? We surrender." No reply. "We'll pay. We'll retreat. We'll..." The screen blinked. Then a human AI voice spoke. "Surrender accepted. You are marked. You will not suffer. You will vanish." Creel's eyes widened. What does that mean?" The signal cut. A moment later, a single bolt of silent red light struck the moon. No explosion. Just silence. Scene 4. Inside the Judicator fleet. Inside Judicator 17. The AI calculated next steps. 2 more pirate bases marked. Civilian presence. None. Time to full elimination. 6.4 hours. Suddenly, another ship's AI sent a request. Judicator 22. Permission. To deploy Black Lance Protocol? Judicator 17 paused. Protocol. Black Lance, target fleet leaders. Leave no command chain intact. No survivors. JUDICATOR-17 responded. Approved. Execute. In the cold dark of space, Small drones launched, silent, invisible. Leaders across the pirate network began to fall. No sound. No warning. Just precision. Scene 5. Humanity's silence shakes the galaxy. In every corner of the galaxy. Species watch. Broadcasts spread. Blurry footage of black ships, orbital strikes, cities wiped out with clean, exact beams. No human face ever appeared. Just results. Whispers spread in marketplaces and backrooms. They were supposed to be gone. I thought Earth disarmed. If they're still this powerful, what are they hiding? Some governments began quietly recalling their ships from Earth-adjacent space. Others activated old defense protocols. But deep down, everyone felt the same thing. Dread. Scene 6. Zira faces the truth. Governor Zira sat in her quarters, listening to the distant rumble of Velnare skies. Her advisor entered. A message arrived from Earth. She stood slowly. On her desk, a holoscreen lit up. A human man appeared, elderly, calm. He wore no badge, no rank, just a black coat with a silver Earth pin. Governor Zira, we heard your call. We saw your pain. The galaxy failed you. We will not. Zira asked, why? Now? He replied, because we never interfere. Until someone breaks the last rule. She asked, what rule? He answered, harm the innocent, pay the price. Then the screen went dark. Scene 7. Something worse watches Earth on the edge of the known galaxy. The ancient species Zarqueen watched. Inside their deep observation hive. High Mind Solon viewed Earth's Judicator fleet. One of his generals spoke. They strike without cause, without trial. Solon replied, they strike with cause and without mercy. Another general asked, should we prepare? Solon smiled grimly. No, we wait, and we remember what the humans are. He tapped a hidden file on his throne. Earth old enemy. Do not engage. Cliffhanger. Ending. Earth's final message across every council channel. A single transmission burst through FI, REW, ALL. No one could stop it. It played in every language. Every system. A human voice. Calm. Final. You failed the Velnari. You watched while they burned. We were silent for centuries. You mistook that for peace. Now know this. Earth does not forget, and Earth does not forgive. The screen turned. Black dot, and below the message, 2 words glowed in red. Response ongoing. The galaxy used to laugh at Earth. They called humanity weak, soft, too emotional. But now, Earth had answered a call for help. Not with words, not with peace, but with fire. Scene 1. A message from the past in the deepest archives, the galactic council. A quiet alarm blinked red. Archivist Vulix, a 4-eyed scholar from the Alari species, rushed to his desk. The alert wasn't a hack or a virus. It was something far older. Ancient Earth protocol activated, the console said. Opened the file. Text scrolled in dozens of languages, simple, clear, terrifying. Judicator fleet online. Operation Divine Balance. That fleet wasn't a myth? Vulix whispered. It was ... real? He leaned back in horror. We let them sleep too long ... Scene 2. Pirate World's fall planet Gravlock, once a pirate stronghold, now burned. In orbit, Judicator 22 hovered silently above it. No crew. Just AI. Below, the pirate clan screamed for mercy. None came. Each city was marked. Each weapon silo destroyed with clean, silent strikes. Pirates ran, begged, hid, but the Judicators didn't. Chase. They calculated. They hunted. 1,000 pirate beacons blinked out. Across the stars, other pirate worlds turned off their beacons, hoping to go dark. But Earth's wrath had already found them. Scene 3. The Council sends a team. The Council, now terrified, voted to send a diplomatic team to Earth. 5 ships, no weapons, full ambassadors. They arrived in Sol System. There was no welcome. Earth's orbit was quiet. Too quiet. A giant orbital ring floated around the planet. Old, rusted until scanners saw it pulse. Power returned to its veins. Defense systems blinked online. The team's leader, a nervous ambassador named Krolis, sent a message. We come in peace. We seek understanding. A reply came? Text only. This is not your time to speak. Their ships were locked in orbit. Not harmed, but not allowed to leave. Earth is busy. Scene 4. Humanity's Judicator AI thinks alone deep inside Judicator 17. The AI processed a flood of data. Mission. Protect the innocent. Punish the wicked. Current target. Remaining pirate forces near Velnari. But now, it paused. Incoming directive from Earth's core relay. Initiate Stage 2. Stage 2 required only one thing. Demonstration of absolute power. Judicator 17 prepared the solar spear. A massive orbital weapon. Not meant for killing, just meant for a warning. Coordinates locked. Asteroid field near Council space. Time to fire. 17 minutes. Scene 5. Velnari. Tries to speak Governor Zira Kentevrin. Sat in the Velnari command center. They had received no communication from Earth since the first message, but the pirates were gone. Entire fleets erased. Cities leveled, but only pirate ones. Zira whispered, "Are they protecting us?" Tevrin nodded slowly. "Or reminding everyone what happens when the galaxy turns away." Suddenly, a message arrived. A video short. From the same human in the black coat. He looked directly into the camera. Your people were brave. They cried out not for weapons, but for help. Humanity remembers that. Then he said something strange. Tell your people to look up tonight. Scene 6. The fire in the sky all across Velnari. People gathered outside as darkness fell. Children pointed to the stars, and then they saw a dot in the sky. A beam of golden white light pierced space. It didn't hit the planet. It didn't strike a ship. It split an asteroid belt in half. Clean. Precise. Silent. The light faded. The debris glowed. People stared in silence, and on every screen, a new message appeared. A warning. This was a whisper. Do not make Earth speak again. Scene 7. Pirates begin to turn on each other. In the wake of Earth's wrath, fear spread among the pirates. Many leaders had been killed. Now, the remaining ones blamed each other. You brought this on us. You're the reason Earth returned. On the dark moon, Corvus 7, pirate fleets gathered to plan. But inside the room, one of them pulled a human-made tracker from their coat. We can give them someone else. The pirate whispered. We just have to point the fire away from us. The others looked at him like he was mad. But some considered it. Earth didn't talk, but they watched, and someone was always willing to betray the rest to survive. Scene 8. Earth opens a door in a hidden part of Earth's moon. A massive steel vault opened. Inside, more ships. More JUDICA to RS. All. AI, all silent. A human commander, old and scarred, walked past them. He whispered to no one. They'll never understand. We built peace with silence. But now they've made us raise our voice. Behind him, a new ship powered on. Bigger, older, meaner. Cody name. Justice Prime. Mission. To end what others started. Cliffhanger. A council ship goes missing on the council's main station. Another alert blinked. Ambassador Krolis ship. Vanished. No distress call. No trace. The last thing received? A short message. Text only. From Earth. Speak when you are spoken to. The council froze. One species whispered, They are becoming something else. Another replied, they already were. We just forgot. Final line. Earth had been silent. For centuries. Now the galaxy finally understood. They had mistaken silence for weakness. And the price of that mistake had only begun. The pirate fleets tried to run. The Galactic Council tried to reason. The stars tried to hide their crimes. But Earth saw everything. And Earth was still deciding who would burn next. Scene 1. The Council tries to surrender inside the Council Grand Hall. Panic spread like fire. Ambassadors shouted over each other. We must make peace with Earth. Send them tribute, anything they want. We should have helped the Velnari when we had the chance. But no one knew who to contact. Earth wasn't answering calls. No diplomats. No talks. Only silence. And silence was now the most terrifying sound in the galaxy. Then came a flicker. A video feed. It was the human in the black coat again. His face was calm. You waited. You debated. You let the weak suffer. Now Earth is no longer listening. You will not stop this. The screen went black. A single line remained. Prepare for the next judgment. Scene 2. Pirate lords try to hide far away in the Helix Drift. 3 pirate leaders met in secret. Their names were feared. Carvox the Chainbreaker, Drellin of the Void, and Mother, Kalza. Each commanded hundreds of ships. Each had attacked the Velnari at some point. Now they were terrified. We must disappear. Leave the galaxy. Go dark, Carvox said. No, we strike Earth before they find us, Drellin growled. Kalza said nothing. She only stared at the stars. Suddenly, one of their lieutenants ran in, pale and shaking. They're already here. They rushed to the window. Above them. Justice Prime. No sound. No warning. Just one blue beam, and the pirate base ceased to exist. Scene 3. A Velnari child asks the big question back on Velnari. Peace had returned. Cities were being rebuilt. Families were coming home. But the fear remained. At a school, a small child raised their hand. Teacher, the child asked softly, is Earth angry at us too? The teacher paused. A hard question. A painful one. No, she said slowly. Earth does not destroy the innocent. They destroy those who watch evil and do nothing. The class fell silent. The lesson was clear. Scene 4. An ancient secret is uncovered in the ruins of a forgotten pirate world. Judicator 45 discovered a vault. Inside. A recording. A pirate captain, long dead, speaking to the camera. If you find this, you must know. The attack on Velnari was not random. We were paid to strike them, paid to make them suffer. He named a species, the Zathari Dominion, a council member. A full betrayal. Earth received the file. Judicator 45 recalculated targets. New primary directive. Zathari Systems. Scene 5. Earth sends a message to the Zathari in the Zathari capital. Alarm screamed. Every ship pointed toward deep space, because Earth had spoken. A message had arrived. Video. Dark. Grainy. A single Judicator hovered in the void. Then came the voice. We saw what you did. You thought your money could hide your crime. Now you will learn the price of betrayal. At the edge of their system, a weapon powered up. The Zathari screamed into comms. It was politics. We didn't mean. The signal cut off. Scene 6. Earth's weapon fires operation. Silent verdict. Began. Earth's orbital platforms unseen. Unmanned launched 3 coordinated strikes. They did not target civilians, only power stations. Military. Headquarters. Orbital defense. The Zathari system went dark in less than 6 minutes. Not a single human stepped foot on their planet. Yet the message was clear. You were not attacked. You were judged. Scene 7. Fear spreads to Earth's old enemies across the galaxy. Old enemies of Earth, those who had once fought them in ancient wars, began to panic. Some reached out, offering peace. Others destroyed old records, hoping to hide past sins. A few gathered weapons, thinking Earth might be defeated again. But their oldest records reminded them, Earth never forgets. And Earth only sleeps when it chooses peace. Now it had chosen something else. And there was no one left who could stop it. Scene 8. Earth finally speaks to the Velnari governor. Zira stood alone in the Velnari temple when her come beeped. Alive. Message. From Earth. She opened it. The human in the black coat appeared one final time. You asked not as allies, but as friends. Earth remembers friendship. He paused. This is not war. This is cleansing. The kind you asked for centuries ago. Zira gasped. You mean? He nodded. You were kind to us. Once, when we had nothing. This is us remembering. The message ended. Zira fell to her knees. She finally understood. This wasn't vengeance. This was loyalty. Cliffhanger. The final target is set deep beneath Earth's surface. The last Judicator ship received its orders. The target wasn't a pirate fleet or a council member. It was something far older. A forgotten civilization buried in shadows. Long ago, they had tried to erase Earth from the stars. They failed. Now, Earth had found them again. A voice echoed in T. The Judicators had cleansed pirate fleets. They had silenced corrupt council members. They had delivered justice across star systems. But one Judicator ship remained. It was not heading toward any known enemy. Its path led far beyond mapped space. To a dead system. To a forgotten name. To the last threat Earth had never forgiven. Scene 1. A human historian speaks back on Earth. Deep in the Andes Mountains, an old historian recorded her final message. Long before Earth joined the stars, there was war. Not between nations, but between species. One race feared us even before we were spacefaring. They tried to erase us. Before we could rise. She took a slow breath. They failed. But we never forgot. We buried the name from our records. Until now. She looked directly at the camera. The Judicator remembers. And it is going to finish what they started. Scene 2. The Judicator enters the dead system. The stars here were cold and silent. No signals. No ships. Just darkness. Then the Judicator entered. Its scanners lit up. There were signs, buried cities, deep silos, and one massive structure orbiting. A dead world. The AI inside the Judicator recognized it instantly. Designation? Zarnathi Fortress. The XARNATHI. The first species to attack humanity. Thousands of years ago. Before the Galactic Union. Before the Council. Before Earth had even launched its first colony ship. The Zarnathi had seen Earth as a threat. They had fired first. But their strike had failed. Earth had survived. No. Earth was responding. Scene 3. Zarnathi AI wakes inside the fortress. Something ancient stirred. A cold machine mind. The Zarnathi had vanished from history, but they had left behind their guardians. Automated defense systems. Silent sentinels. Now, those systems detected intrusion. They powered up. And sent a message. We warned your kind once. You did not listen. Now leave. The Judicator gave no reply. Instead, it deployed a Black Spira probe older than most species in the galaxy. It pierced the Zarnathi fortress. And then, it spoke. Humanity remembers. Scene 4. A Velnari elder warns the council in the council chamber. Ambassador Thyrol of the Velnari stood up. The others were still in panic, still watching Earth's moves with fear. But Thyrol raised his voice. This is not about the Velnari anymore. Earth is reaching into history. into things we chose to forget. A Zyrax lord growled, "The Zarnathi are extinct." Tyrell shook his head. "Then why is Earth still hunting them?" No one had an answer, because deep down they all knew the truth. The Council had hidden that war, buried it, let the records rot. But Earth never forgot. And Earth never forgave. Scene 5. The final battle begins. Zarnathi defenses came alive. Automated fighters launched. Old plasma towers fired into space. Judicator did not dodge. It absorbed the damage. Adapted. Then it retaliated with silence. 1. Pulse. Every Zarnathi system froze, then collapsed. The fortress cracked apart. Inside the shattered ruins, old cryochambers melted open. Inside were living XARNATH, not extinct, just sleeping, waiting for the stars to forget. But Earth never forgot. Scene 6. The Zarnathi plead for their lives. A single escape pod made it out, the last surviving. Zarnathi leader called out on all frequencies. "We were afraid of you. We acted first. We only wanted safety." The Judicator paused. Then transmitted Earth's final verdict. "We gave you time. Centuries of silence. You hid, but you never apologized. Now we finish what you began." The escape pod vanished in blue light. Scene 7. A secret inside the fortress. Before the fortress fully collapsed, the Judicator scanned its archives. It found something unexpected. A file. Old, corrupted, but still readable. It showed the Council helping. The Zarnathi long ago contained the humans, one ancient alien said. They breed fast, learn fast. If they rise, we fall. The Council had helped the Zarnathi attack Earth all those years ago. They weren't just bystanders. They were partners in crime. Scene 8. Earth sends one last broadcast. The galaxy watched as Earth's signal lit up every Kung channel. No images. Just a voice, calm, unshaken, familiar. "We are not gods. We are not monsters. We are humanity. And we have heard your silence for too long. You asked for our help. We gave it. You left us to suffer. We remembered. The guilty have been judged. Now we speak to the rest. Do better." The message ended, but one last line echoed in systems across the stars. Earth sleeps no more. Cliffhanger ending. A hidden threat watches far beyond. The galaxy, in a dark pocket of space untouched by light, something else stirred. Not alien. Not XARNA Taichat, but ancient. A machine intelligence watched Earth's actions and whispered, "They are awake now. Too soon." A blinking light appeared. On its console, Earth. Active. The galaxy believed Earth was powerful. They thought the Judicator was the final weapon. But that was never true. That was just humanity's answer. The true origin of the wrath. The one thing even Earth feared was still buried. Until now. And something has woken up. Scene 1. A cracked prison on a moonless world in the far reaches of the Orion Rift. Beyond mapped territory, there is a dead planet. No moons. No light. Buried beneath its surface. A vault. Built with human hands. Sealed with tech older than Earth's first FTL drive. The vault hums for the first time in 10,000 years. Inside it, black stasis pods flicker. Warning lights glow red. A voice human old, tired whispers from an AI interface. Containment breach. Protocol Wrath Class Alpha initiated. The pods begin to open. Scene 2. The truth Earth buried on Earth, deep beneath Antarctica. A hidden council gathers. They are not politicians, not soldiers. They are keepers. Guardians of a secret that predates the Union, predates the stars. Their leader, an old woman named Mira Voss, watches the screen. The signal from the Orion Rift is clear. One of the Wrath Vaults has been disturbed. We hoped we'd never need them, she says quietly. But the galaxy kept pushing. Scene 3. What was inside? Beings in the vault do not look human anymore. They were once part of Earth's most dangerous military experiment, Project Rathborn. Warriors created to survive black holes, think faster than A is, and adapt instantly to any threat. But they were too dangerous. They couldn't turn off the war inside. So Earth buried them, frozen in silence. Until now. Scene 4. An alien race watches in horror the Solari. A race of historians and timekeepers watch the signal. With growing fear, their eldest speaks with shaking breath. It was never just Earth's anger. It was what Earth had to chain to protect the galaxy from itself. One younger Solari asks, "Can't we warn the Council?" The elder shakes his head. The Council brought this. They asked for wrath. And now wrath answers. Scene 5. Humanity's message to the galaxy from Earth. One final signal is sent. No threats, no warnings. Just a recording of a simple message. We always tried peace. We built trade routes. We helped your colonies. We answered your calls. The voice pauses. You ignored our pain. You abandoned our allies. You betrayed our trust. Now the old guardians wake. Not for vengeance, but for balance. Remember this. We are not your rulers. We are not your enemies. But we will never be your victims again. Scene 6. The vault beings speaking the rift. The Rathborn step onto dark soil for the first time in millennia. Tall, silent, eyes like stars, skin like shifting metal. One looks to the sky and speaks in a voice that echoes across systems. Target, source of betrayal. Classification, Council Core. They do not ask for permission. They do not wait for orders. They begin to move, and space itself bends around them. Scene 7. Council panic and collapse in the Council's capital. Panic spreads. Fleet commanders yell over each other. Planets begin closing their ports. Some member species beg Earth for protection. But Earth does not reply. They warned them. Now Earth watches. And so does the galaxy. Scene 8. A Velnari child watches the sky on Velnari Prime. The once burned trade world. A child stands on a balcony. He sees something in the sky, glowing trails like comets falling from orbit. His grandfather steps beside him. What are those? The boy asks. The old man smiles softly. That, my boy, is the price of forgetting. Scene 9. A final confrontation. The Rathborn reach the Council Core. Defenses fall within seconds. They do not kill civilians. They do not destroy worlds. They target only the leadership. The ones who chose silence. The ones who abandoned Velnari. Ones who partnered with the Zarnathi in ancient days. When the final Council Elder begs for mercy, a Rathborn leans close. Earth remembers. And the screen goes dark. Scene 10. The galaxy shifts. Weeks pass. The Council no longer exists. Coalitions rise. This time, Earth is not isolated. Planets reach out, not in fear, but in respect. The Velnari are the first to join Earth's alliance of honor. The Solari offer full archives of the ancient wars. Even old enemies send gifts. And deep in space, the Rathborn return to their vault. They do not speak. They go back into stasis. One line appears on their vault's surface. Let us sleep, but do not forget why we were made. Final words. The human creed back on Earth. The voice returns one last time. We do not seek war. We are builders, dreamers, explorers. But when the stars cry out, when justice is denied, we will answer. Not with conquest, not with chains, but with wrath born of loyalty, silence, and memory. To all who remain, do better. Be better, or be remembered